It's finally Friday. It's time for Game 2 of this series between the Alabama Crimson Tide on Alabama's senior night, getting ready for the Ole Miss Rebels in the second of 3 pivotal games here in Tuscaloosa. Glad to welcome you inside the broadcast booth. This is Roger Hoover. Please be joined by, of course, former Crimson Tide player and coach David Kindred. And David, we're getting closer and closer to the end of the season. Right now, Alabama, the hottest team in the SEC, having won 7 straight conference games.
Yeah, playing their best baseball late on a 7-game SEC win streak. And yes, it's been really good for Alabama, but a lot still on the line for both squads.
Absolutely. And for Ole Miss, the Rebels did some good things last night in a 1-run loss, but came up just short at the plate in some key moments.
Yeah, they've got them on base, as you can see, 5 of 10, but were not able to cash in. But guys like Austin Foley down in the lineup did cash in, but the Rebels need to get their bats going against a very good left-hander.
Foley back in the lineup, moving up to the 7th spot of the order for today's ball game, and he is no doubt the hottest hitter right now for Mike Bianco.
Yeah, batting down in the 200 level down in February, March, and April, but the month of May has been Foley's time. He's batting over 400 and needs to continue that hot hitting.
Rebels are looking for him to have some contact and just more contact overall for Ole Miss after all the strikeouts we saw last night from Alabama.
Yeah, what a tremendous performance Friday night on Thursday night, but Tyler Fay and Hunter Elliott gave us a start of the ages. Both of them got battered early in this game, but came back and kept this game close. And then you can see Matthew Heiberger coming in, 5 strikeouts in the 8th and the 9th to shut the door with a 1-run win for Alabama.
Hoping to keep it going is Crimson Tide left-hander Zane Adams. So many SEC starts under his belt throughout his career, going all the way back to his freshman season. And speaking of strikeouts, he had 9 last week against South Carolina compared to only 1 walk. Yeah,
9 strikeouts, but the anchor on Friday for Alabama and Zane Adams, the 3-year starter, making his 13th start today, 5-3. The fastball has been really good as of late. The velocities continue to tick up. You're going to see it more in the 94, 95 mile an hour range when he needs to ramp it up. But it's all on the back of fastball command, the changeup, and you're going to see the curveball with a lot of shape to the lefties and righties.
Adams taking on this Ole Miss team that has Judd Utermark flip-flopping with Tristan Becerra, as Becerra hit 2nd yesterday, but today it'll be Utermark batting in the number 2 spot. It's a pretty good decision to make when you have 2 batters hitting both with 20 home runs on the season, deciding where you're going to slide them in the lineup.
You don't have to think too much about that one. Those guys are no doubters. Combined 40 home runs, that'll play in any lineup, and Coach Bianco is happy to have them at the top of it.
Mike Bianco, the head coach of the Ole Miss Rebels, dean of SEC coaches, getting his team ready to head back to the postseason. And there's still a great opportunity for Ole Miss. Win the final 2 here in Tuscaloosa will certainly look good on the resume. Then, of course, an opportunity is Hoover as well, trying to beef up that resume, trying to be a regional host.
Yeah, it's been a murderer's row for Ole Miss, finishing with Georgia, Arkansas, Texas A&M, and on the road with Alabama. But, yes, still on the table for them to capture a series.
Ready for baseball on this Friday night in Tuscaloosa. And away we go. A swing and a miss for Dom Decker after yesterday. First pitch he saw, he sent to the right field bleachers.
Not afraid to see first pitch fastball. A little different scenario. First strike.
Ball and a strike to Dom Decker. 9 homers on the season, 28 runs driven in, trying to get on base in front of Utermark and Becerra. To Brennan Holtz, good hops at second for the out.
Team last night that played flawless with no errors and starting out with a very nice web gem, got the good hop, but had to get a good break on it. Brennan Holt with the dive and strike to first base.
Number 27, Judd Utermark.
Judd Utermark hit 3rd yesterday for Ole Miss. Ended up going 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. Strikeouts were an issue last year, but that's part of his game he's really cleaned up this season.
Well, you can see in the average has changed just a bit, and the home runs continue to pile up.
Ripped to left for a base hit. Utermark is aboard here in the top of the first for Ole Miss.
Yeah, this Rebels offense goes as far as Utermark and Becerra. And not only are they a 1-2 combo, but to have a power hitter from the right side and the left side is just truly unique. And these guys got to do some damage if this Rebels want to capture a series.
Tristan Becerra stepping to the plate. The Clemson transfer, 20 home runs this season, hit his 20th last night to right center field to the Ole Miss bullpen. Breaking ball just misses the strike zone of home plate umpire Jeremy Dupree.
Yeah, to the bullpen. How about over the bullpen? A 440-foot blast.
Fastball at 93 from Zane Adams, and now it's a 2-ball, no-strike count to Becerra.
This team is aggressive towards a fastball. You've seen against Decker and Utermark. They do not miss fastballs, and I'm sure Becerra is hunting that right here.
Drilled high, deep down the right field line, off the wall, and a fair ball. Utermark hustling his way to third base. He will stop there on the double by Becerra. Now the Rebels in business with 2 in scoring position, only 1 out in the top of the first.
Very quiet night for both Utermark and Becerra, but starting it off quickly. Got a fastball down in the zone, a little bit out in front of it, but stays fair right off that pole. But now the Rebels have something cooking. We talked about getting the runners on base, but can they cash in? Another prime opportunity, second and third, nobody out. Excuse me, 1 out.
And the cleanup hitter to the plate, Will Furness. Puts the ball in play to second. Holtz will get the out, but the Rebels get the run. Furness with an RBI groundout brings home Utermark to put Ole Miss in front 1-0.
Looked like the cutter and Furness, and puts a good swing on it, stays in the middle of the field to plate a run, and just like that, Ole Miss on the board.
Back-to-back days striking first in this series. Well, Zane Adams will focus on Hayden Federico. Becerra at third with 2 gone. First pitch fouled away by Federico. Scored 2 of the runs for the Rebels last night. Had a leadoff single in the second that eventually set up an Austin Foley RBI single. Also was brought home by Foley in the ninth.
Rebels very aggressive on first pitch.
Fouled away at fastball, strike 2.
Team offensively that's 4th in walks and 287, but leads the league offensively in strikeouts.
The 0-2. Little high as Adams has a lot of options he can go to here.
16 strikeouts last night for Ole Miss, and starting early, drawing blood, some hard hit balls, another opportunity to plate another run.
The set at third, 2 gone, 1-2. Low and inside to even the count.
Zane Adams rears back. We talked about fastball maybe in the 92, 93 mile an hour range, but when he wants to really rear back in ideal opportunities, he'll run it up there 94, 96.
Full counts to Federico Becerra, representing the second run of the game for Ole Miss at third base.
That's exactly where you want that 2-2 changeup down to see if you could get Federico to chase. Good eye. Sees it out the hand and down. Be interesting to see what Zane Adams goes to here. 3-2 with an open bag.
Payoff pitch. Got him swinging. Zane Adams ends the inning with a strikeout as the Rebels get a run.
Zane Adams keeps it together, just limiting the damage, and the Crimson Tide coming to the plate.
Star power at the top of the order for the Crimson Tide. Whether it's LeBron leading off, Bryce Fowler leading off, David, these guys seemingly always get on base and deliver in the clutch moments for the Crimson Tide.
The most athletic at the top of the lineup for Alabama, and Bryce Fowler and Justin LeBron, they impact the game offensively in so many different ways. Justin LeBron last night with a big home run blast, but Bryce Fowler consistently delivering for the Tide with runners on base.
And that game-tying single yesterday when Alabama scored 3 runs in the 7th, and that was the difference in the game. So they'll be due up first coming up with Fowler leading it off, and then Justin LeBron right after that had 4 of Alabama's 8 hits in the ballgame. So maybe getting to more of that pack offense mentality important for Alabama's offense in this matchup.
It's been a flipping of the lineup. We talked about it yesterday. Bryce Fowler back in that leadoff spot, but it had been dropped down in that 3 and 4 just because he's hit so well with runners on, but he's just so good seeing a lot of pitches as a true leadoff hitter.
Now the Crimson Tide getting set to go against Taylor Rabe, the starter for the Ole Miss Rebels, coming off a tremendous outing last time out against Texas A&M.
Yeah, you can see it right there. 95-98 with the fastball, cutter, slider, changeup. But it's electric stuff. But he also has gotten the confidence of Coach Bianco and the staff. Halfway through the year, got a start against Southern Miss, and after a couple of weeks in the SEC, Coach Bianco said, I'm going to put this guy in the rotation, and he had brought his best against Texas A&M last week. 6 innings, only 5 earned runs, no walks, 14 Ks against a very good Texas A&M squad.
Game that Ole Miss really had to have in Oxford to close out that weekend. Bryce Fowler, the first man to face him. And Rabe starts with fastball registering at 97 miles per hour.
Roger, it's an easy 97. What I mean by that, it just comes out the hand. There's not a lot of, doesn't look like a lot of effort, and it catches you quickly.
Runs inside to Fowler. 1 ball, 1 strike. It was Fowler getting a leadoff double yesterday that only left the infield briefly. It was a comebacker that hit off the leg of the Ole Miss pitcher on the mound, Hayden Elliott. Carried him to third base where nobody was standing due to an overshift. Right now, 2 on each side of second base for the Rebs. 1-2 the count.
You saw the cutter right there after 2 fastballs by Rabe. Talked about his career best. That was just a resume builder for Ole Miss taking the series against Texas A&M.
The 1-2. Fowler stays alive, fighting off a fastball at 98.
Bryce Fowler able to foul that one off at 98. You really have to commit to the fastball, and I guarantee you Coach Bianco's setup pitch after the fastball buzzed up, you're going to see some type of off speed down and away, most likely.
Well done, Coach Kendrick. 2-2.
Seen it a couple of times in both those dugouts. Against me, but a good pitch. Usually I was swinging at that one. Bryce Fowler, much better plate discipline on the changeup, but not out of the thicket yet.
Fights a fastball away, still 2-2.
And the report on Ray talked about his stuff. It's the ability to limit the big inning. The only flaw in his last start is he gave up 5 in 1 inning, but still won the game.
Gets the strikeout of Fowler.
Look like a slider. You can see that circle on the ball. Just tight action, starts in the zone and then just bends inside, and not much you can do right there. That was really good at bat. Pitching sequence by Rabe.
Justin LeBron had a 2-run homer in the first inning yesterday. Overall for Justin LeBron, he has homered in 2 straight games going back to last Friday in Columbia, South Carolina against the Gamecocks. A game where he was eventually shaken up due to a collision at first. Had to miss the final 2 games of the series. Chops that one foul. After yesterday, leaving the yard.
Yeah, we talked about Udemark and Becerra as far as Ole Miss goes, but let's talk about Justin LeBron getting the energy early, and the Tide needs him to continue to deliver big with those type of hits, and it was a bomb.
5-game hitting streak, hitting .333 during that stretch with 7 runs driven in. Rabe in front, 1 ball, 2 strikes against the Crimson Tide superstar shortstop Justin LeBron.
The swing is good. We talked about all the tools he brings, but one thing that doesn't get touched on, what makes him a really good hitter, is his plate discipline and able to recognize pitches and get in ideal counts.
Ray back-to-back strikeouts against Fowler and LeBron.
Ray making quick work of what we just talked about, the best 2 hitters feeling it, but just expanding the zone with a slider, and it was, again, looks really good right out the hand, and just floats just 2 or 3 balls off the outer half and exactly where you want it for the second strikeout.
Two away, Brady Neal at the plate, Crimson Tide right fielder. Bounces it foul along the first base line for strike 1. So Brady hitting .333 last night, went 0 for 4, did reach on an error for the Crimson Tide. Another player like LeBron who was shaken up against South Carolina, took a foul tip off his catcher's mask early in game 2, had to exit that ball game, did not appear in game 3, but did return last night for the Tide, albeit in right field.
Yeah, and talk about the pack mentality. How about Will Platner stepping in Neal's absence and getting 3 hits? He knows a little bit about this Ole Miss, Alabama, both sides.
Went around, so Rabe in front, no balls, 2 strikes, a chance to strike out the side in order.
It looked like the changeup, and Rabe's got command of all pitches. He looks really good here in the first.
Had it Brady Neal, no balls, 2 strikes. Fastball high and away, 1-2. Fastball just missed. Now it's 2-2.
Home plate umpire Jeremy Dupree kind of looked like he was leaning back a little bit. A good pitch, just rode up in the zone.
Worth the challenge next week at the SEC tournament with the ABS system in place. Here's the 2-2. Got him swinging, and Taylor Rabe strikes out the Crimson Tide side in order in the bottom of the first.
Pretty flawless inning by Rabe. Striking out the side, 1, 2, 3, the best Alabama hitters, and had command of all his pitches after 1.
What a thriller, and that's what you expect game one of a series between two evenly matched teams like Alabama and Ole Miss. But the Crimson Tide pitching staff, huge part of the difference, as well as that production from Justin LeBron and Bryce Fowler.
And I talked about it yesterday. Who could get to the seventh inning or outlast the other? Hunter Elliott and Tyler Fay just dueling, but Tyler Fay gets to the seventh inning and then ultimately closes the door with Heiberger.
Colin Reuter leading off this inning for the Rebels, just ahead of Austin Falling. Zane Adams back in the strike zone, 1-1. A run on 2 hits against Adams last inning for the Rebs.
It was an odd game yesterday at times. 2 errors for Ole Miss defensively. They misplayed a suicide squeeze, some miscommunication there.
Teaching points for Coach Bianco.
Ooh, I would not want to have been in that dugout missing that sign. But it was a blown suicide squeeze. Alabama also had Peyton Steele got caught in a rundown where he had beaten the tag but got bumped out and then out. It was one of those odd type of games, but a 1-run win, you have to be flawless.
Zane Adams back-to-back strikeouts as he starts the second inning with a K against Reuter.
Adams going up the ladder and handcuffs Reuter for the first out. Better start this inning.
Next up, the catcher, number 24, Austin Foley.
Unlike last night, nobody on base for Austin Foley, driving in 2 runs for Ole Miss. Starting to play his best baseball of the year, up to 11 homers, 34 runs driven in. Sharply to short, Justin LeBron takes care of him on the first pitch, 2 away.
Good hard hit by Farley. He looks very comfortable in the box, but good for Zane Adams trying to limit his pitch count after a long inning in the first and 2 quick outs.
Well, the Rebels shortstop, Owen Payno. 1 for 3 in last night's game for Ole Miss. Zane Adams keeps filling up the strike zone.
A painted fastball down and away. As a hitter, you've got to spit on that one. Just a true pitcher's pitch.
Adams in front, 0-2, went back to the fastball.
Why not? Right back, the same thing. Looked like Payno was saying you weren't going to back up a fastball to a fastball, but he's probably frustrated inside. Now he's got to battle up with 2.
The 0-2. Fouled away.
Talked about Zane Adams being a 3-year starter. Fastball his freshman year hovered around that high 80s. Sophomore year, low 90s, and we talked about it. Now in that 94, 95 mile an hour range.
Just so many SEC starts under his belt as he gets ready for tonight's ball game. This is his 28th start in SEC baseball. You don't see that too much these days. Assistant contributor for the Crimson Tide his entire time at the University of Alabama.
And to highlight of all those SEC start, his first one against the Arkansas Razorbacks coming to town his freshman year, goes the distance, beats the #1 Razorbacks, and gets SEC Pitcher of the Week. It's a heck of a way to start your SEC pitching career.
Another start, we had great control, 5 walks compared to only 5 strikeouts compared to just 1 walk 3 years ago. Breaking ball misses a little high, 2-2 the count to Payno.
Roger, doesn't feel that like it's that long ago. Felt like it was just a couple weeks back. But wow, we're in the last week of regular season and so much still on the line.
2-2. Knock foul as Payno tries to get the pitch count up a little bit, make Adams work a little more here in the second. Full count.
Good at bat by Pano, getting down early, 0-2. 2 quick outs made. On the other side, helps that their starting pitcher, Ray, reset and rest just a little bit longer. Good at bat.
On the 11th pitch of the at-bat, a high deep fly to left. Steele all the way back on the track, puts it away, and that'll close out the inning. Zane Adams with a 1-2-3, top of the second. Day, senior day here at the University of Alabama. The framed jerseys, the families are out being recognized by the coaching staff. Smiling picture there with the head coach of the Crimson Tide, Rob Vaughn. Always good to see him. Then moms and dads got to throw out the ceremonial first pitch.
Yeah, those bring back some great memories. You absolutely get emotional as a player because it's realistically your time is numbered, and you just don't never know how many more games, especially at the house, you're going to play. But 12 athletes recognized, 2 managers, a lot of players, but you can see Alabama Crimson Tide playing really well right now.
A special group that has back-to-back winning records in conference play, getting to 16 wins just over the weekend, and now up to 17 this year for head coach Rob Vaughn, who keeps talking about the program and the culture he is building. And the culture at times has been tested this year. Alabama's had some tough losses mixed in with some incredible winning streaks.
Hey, absolutely. There were some times where you're questioning in the midweek what's going on, but it seemed like every single time Alabama responded.
Started inserting some youth in the lineup as well, like freshman Eric Hines, native of Tuscaloosa, went to American Christian Academy, and since he joined the roster or joined the lineup kind of on an everyday basis against Oklahoma back in April, it's been tough to get out for these SEC pitchers.
Man, just great to see his development. And we talk about he's a freshman, but he's not a freshman anymore. He's got enough at bats at this point. It's one thing to know, been platooning in and out of the lineup in February, March, but when you know your name's going to be in that lineup card each and every night, just gives you a little bit more confidence.
Huge swing and a miss there, and the count 1-2 to Eric Hines, who put together 6 hits in the last series against South Carolina. April and May, 5 home runs for the Crimson Tide for Eric Hines. And what I love about those hits for Hines against South Carolina, no home runs. It's not all feast or famine with the long ball with him right now.
But it was runners in scoring position where he cashed in, and that's the continued growth for him. He's obviously the jolt of energy. He can run a ball over the scoreboard if he needs to, but his 90% swing is more than enough.
Raves 1-2. High for a ball, and it's 2-2.
Talk about getting more experience, more at bats. The only problem is on the flip side, you get an actual scouting report on the other side, and that's for him to understand, to be able to use the entire field, because they're going to expose that zone on the outer half.
Rave with 4 straight strikeouts to begin this game. Went back to the fastball for number 4.
We talked about easy fastball. Good grief. That was 97 with some run back in the zone. Clearly, Eric Hines was working aggressive to something off speed, but there's just nothing you can do once you realize it's not a one pitch you can hit. All you can do is watch and hope it's not a strike. Rabe on fire so far.
14 strikeouts last week against A&M was not enough. Off to a great pace, striking out the first 4 he's faced, and gets a swinging strike 1 against John Lim. Lefty batting Crimson Tide catcher. He's had some good power as well. 9 homers on the season as he's had more of an everyday role over the last 2 months. In front, 0-2.
Can't really get a key on Rabe. He's starts with first pitch fastball. You saw with Lim right there, the off-speed pitch, but really in command of all his pitches and throwing them in any part, any count.
5 strikeouts in a row. Taylor Rabe.
I mean, it's just good morning, good afternoon, and good night going up the ladder, and so hard to lay off that fastball at a spin rate of 2,400 miles an hour. All that means is that it's got that riding action upward, and so Johnny Lim, when he sees it out the hand, that's center cut for him, and next thing you know, it's above the letters.
Jason Torres try and break the strikeout streak and get on base for the Crimson Tide as he watches a first pitch fastball at 96 miles per hour. Torres, the everyday third baseman for the Crimson Tide, went 0 for 4 in yesterday's game. So far, it's just been Rabe to his catcher, Austin Foley, for Ole Miss.
Some of these defenders are going to have to wake up a little bit. Not even throwing the ball around is about the only thing that they've been able to touch.
Rabe's 0-2. He starts the game with 6 strikeouts in Tuscaloosa. Taylor Rabe on a heater for Ole Miss.
Heater's an understatement. Seeing the heater right there by Rabe, and then the off-speed pitch to close the door on the second inning. Pretty much flawless for the Rebels.
Top of the third on a gorgeous night in Tuscaloosa. The Crimson Tide trailing the Ole Miss Rebels by a 1-0 score. Both these pitchers starting to settle in, kind of reminding you, David, a little bit of last night's ball game when Hunter Elliott and Tyler Fay, after giving up some early runs, found a groove through the middle innings.
Hey, life in the SEC, Roger. Some elite pitchers, especially on the weekend, and man, flexing their muscles early. You see Tyler Fay, who we're going to get to talk to later, setting the tone on Thursday.
First pitch curveball for a strike to Topher Jones, who came off the bench last night for Ole Miss. a pinch hitter in the spot of Pasella and struck out in the 9th against Matthew Heiberger.
Coach Bianco went to 4 pinch hitters last night trying to find the matchup scenario. Did not play out in any of those, but pinch hitting, one of the toughest things to do in all of sports. Hey, on the flip side for Alabama, they're 2 pinch hitters. Filling in for Peyton Steele, JoJo Williamson, a big base hit, and also Chase Kroberger with hits.
Just a little low to make it 3 balls and a strike. So far, Adams with no walks, 2 strikeouts in this start.
Good changeup by Zane Adams. Just could not get the call on the outer half and flips the count from 2-2 to now 3-1.
First walk of the game as Jones is aboard to start the 3rd. Last night we were just getting settled in our seats for the first pitch of the ball game, and then Dom Decker sent it out.
Not quite an upper decker, but it was blasted. Gave the Rebels the early lead. Good sweet swing by that lefty Dom Decker. You always like that fastball down and in.
Decker ground out to second base to begin this ball game. That home run he had last night is only hit of game 1 of the series.
That's the only difference between Rabe and Zane Adams. The fastball's been really good, but the off-speed pitch has not been delivered for a strike or not gotten the chase by the Rebels. So when you miss back-to-back off-speed pitches, you can see it. Dom Decker's eyes are lighting up. He's sitting dead red fastball again.
Fouled away to get the count 2-2 as Zane Adams went to the fastball.
Good pitch by Zane Adams. Again, one of those down and away, knowing the hitter is sitting in a fastball count, but you can compete still with a properly placed pitch.
2-2. Got him swinging.
Yeah, the fastball's playing tonight, Roger. That was a fastball down in the zone earlier and now going upstairs and gets Decker swinging. A big out by Zane Adams.
Man aboard for Judd Utermark, who singled first time up. Went around, according to first base umpire Eddie Newsom, the crew chief of the staff. Quiet game last night for Utermark, going 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. But already 1 for 1 with a single in this game. 49 home runs. All-time Rebel home run leader. School history. For a program that has had plenty of powerful bats through the years.
And just to see the type of names that he has surpassed, and there have been a lot of big names. Look at him. Kyle Gordon played in the 80s, Tim Elko, and some of my old teammates, Matt Snyder and Matt Smith, with the low 40s. Tremendous company to be included with.
So much of it for him happened kind of later in his career as well. Say, well, if he's been around 4 years, plenty of opportunities, but it took him a while to kind of find his groove.
And Coach Bianco, after Tuesday night's game when he broke it, talked a lot about the character and makeup.
He swing there, 2-2.
Got the home run and then recognized on the video board by family members, coaches, players, just absolutely loving on this guy. I mean, obviously the numbers speak for themselves, but Coach Bianco said, hey, even better guy that I would love to see this happen to.
Late break for second. The throw there. Holt with a tag. Out. Now all of a sudden Ole Miss down to its final strike this inning.
Delayed steal by Topher Jones and good heads-up play by John Lim, delivering a strike. Always big when you can get an out with a power hitter like Utermark up.
The pitch. Outside, ball 4 on the payoff pitch, and it's the second walk of the inning. Now Utermark will be aboard at first with 2 gone.
You sense the frustration by Zane Adams when he caught that ball. He really wanted to get the swing and miss, wanting to eliminate the 2-out walks. But I'll say this, if I'm going to give up a 2-out walk, it'll be to one of guys like Becerra or Utermark.
It is dangerous to put Utermark aboard for Becerra, who homered last night, now up to 20 on the year. Stroke tie to center, but Bryce Fowler right there. And the inning is over. Zane Adams navigates through some walks in this inning and posts a 0 on the scoreboard here in the 3rd. Is the place for strikeouts with Taylor Rabe on the mound. So far, starting this game with 6 consecutive strikeouts, 5 of them swinging, only 1 looking.
Man, every pitch working for Rabe. You see the fastball command, the off speed, the slider, and the changeup. I mean, really feeling like he can go to any pitch. Alabama's got to break that rhythm if they want to get to Rabe. He's clearly in a groove right now, and you see 20 strikeouts the last 8 innings against some really, really good competition.
Yeah, 2 teams with very veteran hitters in both Texas A&M and Alabama. Now we'll face the bottom of the order due up for the Crimson Tide. Rabe has only needed 28 pitches to get through these first 2 innings, getting so many swings and misses. Brennan Holtz will be the first man he'll face. Journeyman throughout his college career, just celebrated his senior day at the University of Alabama after time at LSU, Oklahoma State, then South Alabama for 2 years. First pitch swinging. Will be a line out to right field, but the Crimson Tide put the ball in play, and Tristan Becerra having to work more than any of his other teammates besides Austin Foley.
Like we said, you got to be awake out there. Have not put any balls into play. That ball was hit on the screws by Brennan Holt. I was thinking maybe a good opportunity to lay down a bunt, but hard hit ball, nothing you can do about it.
Crimson Tide first baseman Luke Vaughn to the plate. 0 for 3, but did lay down a good sacrifice bunt attempt last night. Got credit for the sacrifice error by Judd Utermark, third baseman, allowed him to reach base. Coming off a 2-homer game last Friday night at South Carolina, Luke Vaughn.
The first non-competitive pitch that's been out of the zone for Rabe since he started this game. And if I'm Luke Vaughn, saw a cutter outside the zone, I might try to ambush and try to get on a fastball, just sit on it.
Right back to Rabe. 2 gone. So not only has he had the strikeouts, now Taylor Rabe adds a web gem to the highlight reel for tonight.
And Luke Vaughn did exactly what you thought. Didn't quite hit it right on the screws, but Rabe saying, if I can't strike him out, I'll bring my glove and get the out. 2 hard hit balls for Alabama, but nothing to show for it.
Off hard pitches at 97 for Brennan Holt. That last pitch was 96, getting the infield line out to the pitcher. Here's Peyton Steele. Crimson Tide left fielder with 2 outs. Takes ball 1.
He couldn't have drew up a better start. You know, talk about a 1-run game last night. Kind of a heartbreaker. The Rebels were in it the entire game, and you needed this kind of start today.
Works in the slider for a strike.
Talk to Coach Rob Vaughn and Coach Mike Bianco. They'd tell you they'd like to win any game by 10, but it does help your team's consistency to win late, especially 1-run games.
Rabe in front, a ball and 2 strikes to Peyton Steele.
Roger, just you look up every single bat, down in the count early, just a lot of command with good stuff.
3 perfect innings to start this game. Taylor Rabe on fire with 7 strikeouts and 3 scoreless innings.
Other than hitting the ball really hard, Rabe still perfect. And the off-speed pitch, Peyton Steele can only look at it.
Up a win against Auburn. Crimson Tide fans like that for several reasons. First of all, always enjoy when Auburn loses, but especially breaking that tiebreaker. Alabama now going in front, 17-11 in the SEC. Auburn 16-12.
How about Georgia just continuing the way they've just pounded the baseball? Daniel Jackson, but just don't forget about the other 1-2 combo and Trey Phelps.
Well, Furness will lead off this top of the 4th. Georgia, the SEC champions this season. Clinched it over the weekend. Mississippi State, how about that 3rd inning with 13 runs in Aggie land?
Whew. Man, what's the way the Mississippi State Bulldogs are swinging the bat? A really good starting rotation. Could be best in the SEC.
Swing and a miss for Furness, and then Kentucky, regarded as one of the last 4 teams in the field of 64 projected by D1 Baseball, got a huge win last night to start their series as they are trying to keep their hopes alive for the postseason. A team that swept Alabama to begin conference play back in mid-March.
Very scrappy squad, and Coach Mingione talked about it, Roger, being on the last 4 in on the bubble. They would love to get off of that bubble and win a series at home against a very good Arkansas Razorback squad. They don't want to have to make it happen in the SEC tournament, but probably will have to.
1-2 on Furness, an RBI ground out for him first time up. Takes curveball high to even the count, 2-2. Breaking ball hit the other way. Torres shifted over, makes the play for the Crimson Tide. Jason Torres showing off the glove and the arm there on the left side of the infield.
Looked a little bit odd. Roger, you got better eyes than I do. It looked like the shortstop in the hole, but it was Jason Torres, the third baseman, on the shift. But great play to get another out against a very good Furness.
Center fielder, number 9, Hayden Federico.
Now Hayden Federico to the plate. 1-0 Ole Miss leads here in the top of the fourth. Zane Adams on the mound for the Crimson Tide was one of the first key recruits that Rob Vaughn reached out to. And when he made his way to Zane Adams' door in Porter, Texas, realized, wait a second, I went to high school with his mom, Amanda, in Humble High School in Humble, Texas. I think it was kind of one of those moments for Rob Vaughn. He's like, the math can't be right in this. But yeah, Rob, only 38 years old now, 36 at the time that happened a few years ago, when Coach Vaughn just got the job from the University of Maryland. It's quite a good recruiting advantage already knowing the mom from high school days. And Zane made a wise choice to come to Alabama, where, as you talked about, he has continued to develop under Jason Jackson, the pitching coach.
You can't make that stuff up. And just in the recruiting, felt really bad if you wouldn't have gotten Zane Adams. But you're no doubt, think about in that transition, getting Zane Adams to stay on board, as well as Justin LeBron in that same class.
Line drive into right for a base hit. Hayden Federico is aboard. That was immediately in the wake of Alabama's regional win, notably knocking off Troy and Boston College to head to the Super Regional against Wake Forest, where the Demon Deacons did take 2 games. And then Rob Vaughn was hired day after Alabama's Super Regional wrapped up. And Jason Jackson staying on the staff after he did a wonderful job leading this program as the interim head coach to close out the 23 season.
Yeah, I believe Coach of the Year in that category, and absolutely deserved it with all the stuff that was going on in the middle of the SEC school year. But Coach Jason Jackson held this team together, and to your point, hosted a regional, went to the Super Regional, and good to see Coach Jason Jackson continuing to be a key piece in this coaching staff.
1-0 on Colin Reuter, a strikeout victim first time up. Huge swing and a miss there, going up against Zane Adams. Now really has a repertoire of 4 pitches, you can say, at this point in his career, compared to maybe his freshman year when it was more fastball and off speed that he was working with and having success.
And this, the command of the changeup. The changeup is there. It's when he wants to throw it for a strike, and then you see right there by Reuter down in the zone to get chasing. And that changeup, about 10 miles an hour off of the fastball, it makes you have to, when you're throwing that changeup when you want it in the strike zone, as a hitter, you have to respect it, and then the fastball coming out of the zone looks so much faster.
Federico does have 4 stolen bases on the year. Ole Miss, a team pretty conservative in the stolen base department. 12th in the SEC heading into this series, and time called.
Look like they're, did it go to, I believe home plate umpire went to 2-2. Count was 2-1, called a strike. Reuter was not ready in the box.
This will be the 2-2 pitch as a result. And he got him swinging. Zane Adams picks up the strikeout.
already hard enough to hit against a weekend guy in Zane Adams. You lose a strike due to the pitch clock not being ready to go in the box. Zane Adams will take it.
That'll bring up Austin Foley to the plate. So a pitch clock violation on Reuter, getting that second strike. If anybody's following golf in the PGA Championship this week, Garrick Higo yesterday was, he said, a second late. He said he was on time, but was a second late for his tee time, so he was issued a 2-stroke penalty on his first hole. Had a great round yesterday, 69, but it would have been 67, and he has given some confusing explanations as a result. It's kind of been the talk of the golf world the last 24 hours, so Colin Reuter probably feels the same, like I was on time, but I was a second late.
I mean, I'm going to say this. I would not, whatever scorekeeper or time clock guy to say you're 1 second late and here you go with 2 strokes, I think I would have, I need every stroke.
There was no grace period for him yesterday, as he has tried to explain over the last 24 hours. Ripped down the line, just foul.
Foley last at bat, hit the ball hard on the ground right to Justin LeBron, all over that changeup, just out in front of it.
Rebel fans know what he is capable of, hitting 21 homers last year. That was the most by any Ole Miss catcher during the Mike Bianco era. As you know, a position he cares a lot about.
Yeah, and that speaks to a lot. I mean, the priority of a Mike Bianco catcher is some really good defensive play first. And that's always going to be the priority, and he's had some really good defensive and offensive catchers.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Zane Adams closes out the 4th with a pair of strikeouts, still 1-0 Ole Miss.
Best conference tournament all of college baseball.
Run straight for the breakaway.
Let's get to Hoover.
Hoover, Alabama, the site of the SEC tournament, all beginning on Tuesday on the SEC Network. Championship will be May 24th on ABC. We're excited, of course, just for this tournament. Everyone gets to go in the single elimination format, and also the automated balls and strikes coming to college baseball. Every team will begin with 3 challenges. Only the batter, pitcher, or the catcher can challenge by tapping the top of their batting helmet or ball cap. And you get to keep those challenges. Additional challenge per extra inning, but you can't carry them over, stack them up. 1-2 each inning, but gonna get some true balls and strikes. And It's going to be a fascinating process. It's kind of normalized after a couple of months in the big leagues, I feel like, for everybody. I imagine it will as the week goes along in Hoover, but there could be some interesting scenarios with that early on. Not so much with Taylor Rabe on the mound, who already has carved up 7 strikeouts. Crimson Tide batters he has had no problem with so far. Through his 9 hitters he's faced, striking out 7, including Bryce Fowler. But that's going to be fun to watch, especially that first Tuesday, seeing how teams use it. Do you hold on to some challenges later in the ball game? A lot of strategy will come into that.
Yeah, and also you got to get the metrics and size down. Every single player is going to get sized up. So a guy like Johnny Lim and versus Brennan Holt, different size, and that strike zone changes a little bit. So all these guys, all these things have to go into play. But I think that what I'm so excited to watch is the fan interaction amongst this. It's going to be exciting.
I'll show it on the video board at the Hoover Met, plus on the SEC Network and ABC in real time. Just again, same technology used by Major League Baseball. So it's exciting, something we kind of joked about during some different broadcasts this year, saying, can't you just wait for college baseball to get ABS? Well, only a few months later, it's here. At least in the SEC tournament.
Well, I think that at least the SEC coaches that we've talked to, Coach Rob Vaughn and Coach Mike Bianco, talked about, they've had this discussion going into the year prior to the season starting, knew that was on the table, but wanted to see how it played out in the Major League Baseball ranks, and it has played out really well.
Rabe with strikeout number 8, setting down 10 in a row.
I mean, Roger, you just said 10 strikeouts, and we're in the 4th inning. But just a really good changeup right there to get the swing and miss by Bryce Fowler.
Striking out Bryce Fowler twice in a game is tough enough, but now he's going up against Justin LeBron, who he also struck out back in the first. Started the game with 6 straight strikeouts. Alabama put the ball in play last inning on a line out to right and back to Rabe, but since then he's picked up the strikeout rhythm. Dots the slider for a strike.
Okay, so we're 43 pitches in. He's thrown 32 strikes to only 11 balls.
Justin LeBron will mark up his bat for a moment and also try and throw Rabe off this rhythm.
No kidding. I don't blame him. Rabe's shown you again. We talked about his pitches, the fastball, the changeup, the cutter, and the slider. Been able to throw it in almost any count he wants.
Head of Justin LeBron, 0-2. Stays away that time. The 1-2. LeBron skies it high, but that will drift foul, and that'll play deep down the right field line.
It's been a lot of swing and miss, too. I mean, there's not been a lot of foul balls off the batters from Alabama. Just not able to pick up out of the hand, and Rabe with the control has been really good.
LeBron able to fight that one off, sticking around to the ball and 2 strikes. Crimson Tide hitter that has homered in his last 2 ball games. Looked fine coming back from injury over the weekend against South Carolina with the home run yesterday. After fouling off the last 2, the 1-2. Got him swinging. Rabe strikes out LeBron again, make that 9 strikeouts.
And once again, going to that slider, just wipe away off the table. It's almost like Justin LeBron knew that that pitch was there, but the bite has been so good on that pitch.
Now it's Brady Neal. Also struck out back in the first. 2 outs, nobody on base. Rolled to second. And Decker sets down Brady Neal. Crimson Tide set down an order here in the fourth. Somebody who knows about something like this, Tyler Fay. He can recognize this kind of rhythm for Taylor Rabe. He'll join us when we return. Ole Miss leads Alabama 1-0 as we start the top of the fifth in Tuscaloosa. Roger Hoover and David Kindred in the press box. Now I'm pleased to be joined in the Crimson Tide dugout by Tyler Fay, who was last night's winning pitcher for the Crimson Tide as Alabama picked up the 5-4 win. And Tyler, thank you so much for joining us. First of all, looking back at last night, you had 11 strikeouts. What were you having success with on the mound?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing was just the slider and the changeup were really on last night. And as the game went on, I think I started executing some of those 0-2 changeups a little bit better and getting it down and just staying away from the middle of the plate for the most part. And these guys are pretty big swingers, but yeah, just the changeup and slider mostly.
You talked about the dangerous lineup and the composure you had first inning, giving up a first pitch home run and giving up some solo shots. Can you talk about your maturity as you've played year over year and what that meant to you to get deeper into this game, even though you got battered a little bit in the first?
Yeah, I mean, I think with guys like this, like you got to execute pitches early in the count, and they jumped on a few mistakes throughout the game, but I think just getting back in and executing the next pitch is huge and not making it a bigger deal than it is. Because I know, especially like opening game of the weekend, saving the bullpen's huge. So just trying to execute and get a lot of quick innings throughout the game was pretty important for us, I think.
Well, Tyler, looking at the rest of the rotation for the Crimson Tide, first of all, you've gotten to watch Zane Adams a lot during his time at Alabama. What do you see out of Zane this year?
Zane's been awesome. He's been really good. Just really mature. I feel like he's grown up a lot in this couple of years here, and got Barney messing with me over there. But yeah, just every outing, it's really consistent stuff. He comes out and just pounds the strike zone, and his stuff's ticked up quite a bit this year too, I think. So he's been really impressive.
2-1 to Pano. So that's clubbed high in the air, deep to right field. Neal going all the way back. He'll climb the wall, but it's gone. Owen Pano drills a home run for Ole Miss to make it 2-0 top of the fifth.
Pano with his 5th home run and got a fastball elevated and deleted it into right field. Another solo home run for the Rebs.
Well, Tyler, thank you so much for joining us. Best of luck coming up in the SEC tournament and then in the NCAA tournament after that. We appreciate your time.
Thank you guys so much. Roll Tide.
That's Tyler Fay, ace of the Crimson Tide staff.
Yeah, and again, the fastball, Pano did not miss it. Was ready for that fastball and knew it as soon as he hit it. Brady Neal gave it a run, but ran out of room.
Now Topher Jones to the plate. Bottom of the order did some good things for Ole Miss last night. A pair of RBI singles by Foley in the ball game, and now Pano batting 8th in the same spot of the order. That's the magic spot in the order this weekend for Ole Miss. Topher Jones got on base with a leadoff walk. Eventually was caught stealing back in the 3rd. Zane Adams allowed a handful of runs as well against South Carolina. Eventually, the Gamecocks got 5 runs against him, but didn't really let too many innings spiral out of control. Has just been able to have a knack for bouncing back even after some adversity, very similar to what you've talked about this year with Tyler Fay.
Yeah, limiting the runs. We talk about giving up the home runs, but again, one small blemish against South Carolina, 4-run spot, but able to keep the game where it is. Very similar to last night's game we talked about with Tyler Fay. You just see he just just calm, cool, and collective in the dugout. That's just kind of how he pitches.
Well, works the count back to 2 balls and 2 strikes to Topher Jones.
Again, the off-speed pitch for Zane Adams. At times the Rebels have just said, hey, we'll let the off-speed pitch go and just hammer the fastballs.
Got him swinging with the fastball at 93.
And that's the maturity that Tyler Fay talked about that he's seen in Zane Adams. And give up a home run and then you bounce back and don't let the bleeding continue on and get a big strikeout. Topher Jones.
Now Dom Decker to the plate. Rebels up by a 2-0 score, and that's been plenty of run support so far for Taylor Rabe, not allowing a base runner to this point through 4 innings against Alabama. Decker 6 hits against Texas A&M last week, leading the Rebels at the plate. Already has homered in this series.
And the start that Rabe is having has been really good. And if you're Zane Adams, it's only a 2-0 score. Only giving up a solo home run here. You can't feel like you have to pitch at the level of Rabe is. Just got to continue to keep this game where it is and get Alabama an opportunity to eventually find a way to get something going. Let's just get on base and keep the game close. And that's what you do as a weekend starter.
Base hit to right field. Decker will continue this inning for the Rebels.
Decker continues to feast on fastballs. There's very few opportunities. When that fastball's in or around the zone, he puts a good swing on it, and it's hard hit.
Judd Utermark.
Cutter down in the zone. Utermark able to lay off, and Coach Clement, the third base coach for the Rebels, going through the signs.
Ball and a strike to Utermark.
Now with Rebels having the lead, interesting to see with a good bat and Utermark. Decker, the leading stolen base getter with 12. Maybe a good time to get in motion.
That one just misses for Adams. 2-1.
Talked about Zane Adams relying on the fastball. He's been able to command that. It's been in and out with the off-speed pitch.
Adams works the count back to 2-2.
Judd Utermark, even on his pitches, he swings and misses. You can hear the fans in the stadium. Ooh. Good power hitter.
Good power fastball by Zane Adams. Picking up the strikeout. Now there are 2 gone.
Good bounce back by Zane. Went up the ladder and got the swing and miss of Utermark for the second out.
Still a dangerous hitter at the plate, and Tristan Bissetta. 20 homers this season, picked up a double back in the first inning. Transfer from Clemson. What a great year he's had for Ole Miss.
Zane Adams will be pitch 86. Last week went 100, so the pitch count getting up there in the 5th. And it's been a pretty consistent plan for the Rebels. We talked about it, working really aggressive to the fastball when you get it, been able to lay off the off-speed pitchers.
Sam Mitchell, the right-hander, Evan Steckmesser, the lefty, getting ready if needed here in the top of the 5th. Three and 0 to Bissetta.
Again, that's the approach they're sticking to. And again, that's a really good pitch by Zane Adams. The slider trying to get swing and miss, but has not been able to land it for a strike. See how much attention Zane Adams gives to Decker right here.
He's at first with 2 gone. And ball 4. 2 on with 2 outs for Ole Miss.
Another 2-out walk for Zane Adams.
Jason Jackson going to come out and speak with Zane Adams on the mound. Doesn't necessarily mean there will be a pitching change, as Coach Jackson does make all the changes as well. Right now, a tricky spot in this game. 2 on with 2 outs, and Furness at the plate.
Yeah, you said double barrel action in the pen. So lefty and Steckmesser, the right-hander Sam Mitchell, who's really emerged this year as a good high-leverage right-hander. My anticipation is Coach Jackson is trying to just reaffirm, go through the report against Will Furness. I think this is Zane Adams' inning.
Especially in a lefty-on-lefty matchup. Zane will be good to go with 2 on and 2 out. Now the Crimson Tide will focus on Furness, driven a run earlier with a ground out. Talented cleanup hitter for Ole Miss. Kept the average well over 300 all throughout this season. First pitch. Bounces just behind Lim. The runners will stay put.
And Will Furness recognized last week in Ole Miss's senior day, a guy that's been in Oxford all 4 years and been in the middle of that lineup.
Great bloodlines with his dad, Eddie Furness, of course, not just a star for LSU, for the Tigers in the 90s, but a Hall of Famer and one of the best we've seen, not just in the SEC, but college baseball.
How about ending his SEC career at that time, all-time leader in hits, home runs, and RBIs? I'm not done. Doubles, total bases, and you saw that, and throw on a national championship with it. And guess who one of his assistant coaches was, Roger?
Let's go with Mike Bianco. Now the head coach of the Ole Miss Rebels. So definitely a great family connection, leading Will to Ole Miss. And he hits this one high, going deep in the air to right center field. Furness says goodbye. 5-0 Ole Miss.
Roger, you said it was good bloodlines, and Will Furness does just like his dad did. Hanging off-speed pitch and pummeled that one into the bullpen to extend this lead for the Rebels. You see it. hanging slider, and he was ready for it. Now a 5-run lead for the Ole Miss Rebels.
More fun in that bullpen for Ole Miss. Those guys have been out there the last 2 nights, seeing some home runs go over them, but some in there as well. Pretty good celebrations too.
I'd be getting celebrated, getting excited about that too. Especially, they're sitting cozy down there the way that Rave's pitching.
Well, he's got plenty of run support with 4 runs across the plate, top of the 5th. He's had a lengthy wait to get back to the mound for the bottom of the 5th. Rave has thrown 4 perfect innings so far against Alabama.
Need to exhaust some of that energy down in the bullpen. Five runs, 6 hits for the Rebels. We talked about it. Flawless for Rave. No hits, no runs.
Adams just missing with a count 2-2. Popped up on the infield. Justin LeBron squeezes it for the final out, but the damage done with the long ball by Ole Miss in this inning.
Pano getting one with a fastball, sending it into right field, and then Furness with a hanging slider. A lot of offense here for the Rebels in the 5th inning.
Taylor Rabe in complete control of Alabama through the first 4 innings, not allowing a base runner.
Yeah, it's been stymied, this Alabama offense. Not really any answers, and Taylor Rabe retiring all batters faced and almost flawless with all the strikeouts he's racking up going into the bottom half of the 5th.
Striking out 9 of the batters he has faced, 12 of them so far. He doubled up his career high in strikeouts last week against Texas A&M. And just on fire tonight against Alabama.
I mean, look at that from a back-to-back starting standpoint. We talked about Texas A&M's electric offense and putting up some video game numbers right now.
Middle of the order. Try and get on base, get Alabama's first hit of the game here in the bottom of the 5th with Hines, Lim, and Torres due up. It all starts with tonight's DH, Eric Hines. Smashes the first one, foul. Hines a strikeout looking. At the time, it was the first strikeout looking against Taylor Rabe. Fouls away the breaking ball. Nearly went into the Ole Miss radio booth as well.
Zane Adams pitch count at right at 100. Rabe at 51. It's going to be 54.
Strikes out Eric Hines to begin the 5th. 10 strikeouts, Taylor Rabe.
For the most part, it's been first pitch fastball, and the Tide have not been able to cash in, and then you get down in the count and have to go through a myriad of different options, and Rabe's got them all going. The triple option with the off-speed pitch. Another swing and miss for the Crimson Tide.
Lim could not hold off on that first pitch fastball at 96. Strike 2 to John Lim, Crimson Tide catcher. Up the middle, Rabe knocking it down and shovels with the glove for the out.
Yeah, another hard hit ball up the middle. Doesn't make contact with Rabe. That's a base hit, but Rabe fielding his position twice. The athletic staff, trainers for Ole Miss are going to come out there and just check on Rabe.
Only 14 balls compared to 44 strikes for his 58 pitches so far tonight.
Pretty remarkable, Roger. And again, it's been setting up pitches. I can't think of any at bat where it's rarely he started anything with strike 1 with the first pitch, and so you're already behind the 8 ball with a guy that's feeling it.
Ole Miss has had patience with him, signed him, did not appear due to injury in 2024 as a freshman. Started to have a little larger of a role last year, 15 appearances and 2 starts, but only 16 innings coming back from injury. Just keeps getting better and better this season for Ole Miss at the best time of the year.
No doubt. Talked about his progression with the Rebels. Not in the rotation starting out the year, made a start against Southern Miss in the midweek early in the year, and then as you can see with the stuff absolutely plays, but I think with any coaching staff, do you have the confidence to pull a good pitcher in the bullpen or in the midweek and say, hey, we're going to make a change? It's been a change that's been working really well, and to your point, Roger, he's pitching really good late in the year, especially when Ole Miss is trying to scratch and claw and find another SEC win, that they're kind of trying to put themselves in position, trying to build their resume up.
We've talked a lot about the starting rotation being a strength of Alabama's team with Tyler Fay, Zane Adams, and Miles Upchurch. Ready to go for Jason Torres. The first pitch to him. But how about the strength for Ole Miss with the way that Cade Townsend's performing? He'll be going in the Saturday game tomorrow. We saw how Hunter Elliott didn't get the win last night, but kept Ole Miss right in that ball game to the end. And then you add in what Rabe is doing tonight. And Rabe also doing this after pitching last Saturday. Both he and Townsend started the final 2 games of that series against Texas A&M with the doubleheader.
And that's what changes a bullpen guy with a lot of stuff to a starting guy. Everybody's got stuff, but do you have the stuff that you can go 1 to 7 innings? And Hunter Elliott did that last night. Unfortunately, he ran up against Tyler Fay, who's been giving some long durations of games. We talked about it, the no-hitter against Florida earlier in the year, going the distance. But yeah, I mean, look at that. I mean, it's two really good starts. It was a good enough start for Hunter Elliott to win.
Now falls behind, 3 balls and a strike to Jason Torres. Alabama looking for its first base runner in the bottom of the 5th. 14 in a row have been set down by Rabe so far. Full count. Went back to the fastball. Now a lot in the bag of tricks with a count 3-2.
No beating around the bush. It's new. Jason Torres knew the fastball was coming. Rabe said, hit it if you can. Jason Torres fouls it off. You don't know if you're going to get another pitch like that again.
Payoff pitch. It fouled down the right side for Torres.
Now it's 64 pitches, and that fastball at 96 miles an hour. The velocity sticking right there. The duration and able to keep your velocity deep into games. There's a reason why Taylor Rabe is getting the call tonight.
3-2 again. Upstairs, ball 4, and Jason Torres with a 2-out walk. He becomes Alabama's first base runner against Taylor Rabe.
Fans with a clap. Some of them clapping on behalf of Taylor Rabe, and some of them clapping on the side of Alabama, trying to break the rhythm. And Alabama will take whatever they can get right now. Get a runner on base.
Still looking for that first hit, Alabama, as Brennan Holt comes to the plate. He had the first ball in play on a first pitch line out to right field. He swings at the first pitch here and misses for strike 1.
Baseball's a weird game. It's Brennan Holt hit it really hard. You had 2 hard comebackers right at Rabe. If he doesn't glove those or bounce off his body, those are hits. Baseball's a weird game, but Rabe's in control.
Such a rare walk for Rabe coming into this start. 68 strikeouts compared to 7 walks. That's been part of his brilliance this season, especially in SEC play. Striking out 9 batters for every walk issued. Keeping it pretty similar. 10 strikeouts compared to just 1 walk in this game. But now behind Holt, 3-1.
This is 2 at bats, getting into a 3-ball count. And Alabama has to be, you can't really manufacture. Obviously, Jason Torres not a threat to steal, but you're kind of limited from a standpoint with the score where it is at 5-0. You really kind of have to hit your way through this now. You can't play for one run an inning. Three-two count. Will Furness playing behind the runner. Runner will be moving on the pitch.
Down the left field line, just foul.
Rabe continuing to rely on the fastball. Even 3-2 counts, 2-0 counts, 3-1 counts, when the batters even know the fastball is coming, still can't really square it up consistently.
Torres at first, 2 gone. Holt sticks around at 3-2.
If anything, at this point, you have to hang your hat on is getting deeper into counts, at least this inning. Now up to, will be pitch 70.
3-2 again. Got him swinging, and the 11th strikeout for Taylor Rabe. 5 no-hit innings against Alabama.
Giving up just 1 walk, but remaining flawless with the fastball up in the zone to punch out Brennan Holt.
Ole Miss work its way into being a host, get a regional back to Swayze Field.
They're on the outside looking in, but barely. They're trying to kick down that door, and one game here or trying to find a way to win a series would probably, in my opinion, put them into that 14, 15, 16 discussion. But so much at play. You see Alabama, the 1 seed, right now, a snapshot winning game, Thursday night's game, and then the 7 overall series. But a lot still at play, but Alabama's resume and Ole Miss's resume look really good at this point.
Love the strength of schedule as well. Ole Miss at 3, Alabama at 4. That is just life in the SEC. Sam Mitchell knows all about that as he has worked his way into SEC innings for the first time in his career. The sophomore out of Madison's Bob Jones High School. 1-1 in the season. Yes, a 6.29 ERA, but that's really limited to just a handful of tough outings he's had throughout this season.
Heavily relied upon reliever. That's really blossomed in the fall and in the spring. You talked to Coach Rob Vaughn. He was so stoked of the way that Sam Mitchell has emerged. February and March has been one of those guys to keep this game where it is. That's exactly what he's got to do. It's a 5-run deficit. You don't have to match what Ole Miss is doing. Just keep this game where it is to somehow get Rabe to the bullpen.
Slowly to the left side, Jason Torres with the throw for the first out.
Good start for Sam Mitchell on the off-speed pitch. There's going to be a fastball that Sam Mitchell feels really good in the low 90s. Slider and the changeup for the most part that he's going to use, but it's the command that's really taken his game earlier in his career to now the trust of the coaches to know that he's going to command the zone day in, day out.
Austin Foley, a little quieter tonight, 0 for 2 after yesterday picked up 2 hits and drove in 2 runs for Ole Miss. Late on that pitch, 1-1. One to Foley. Knocks it foul. And He is not slowing down at all this month of May, really rounding into form. The hottest hitters for Ole Miss, leading the team in all of these, I'd say, major categories: hits, runs, home runs, and runs driven in.
Along with guys like Bassetti and Udemark.
That's why Ole Miss feels good about the postseason, whether they're on the road or get to host that regional.
And every guy have ebbs and flows of the season. You see Coach Bianco right there, always a guy that's pulling the string and trying to find the guy that's swinging it right at the right time and pulling the right strings. He's been doing it for quite a while and pretty good at it.
2-2. Rolled foul, do it again to count 2-2 on Foley.
And speaking of pulling the strings, we talked about Sam Mitchell's 16th appearance, but outside of Hagan Banks, in SEC appearances, second most reliever appearances for the bullpen in Alabama with 7. So that really tells you coming in games, especially SEC games. Saw guys like Ashton Crowther casually warming up, another left-handed arm that you might see to spell Mitchell.
Base hit to left field. Foley keeps on hitting for Ole Miss.
You can just tell Foley sitting in the box is very comfortable. There's nothing over swinging, seeing the ball really well. And that stat, the stats speak for itself, but when you watch it with your eyes and see the type of swings he's putting on balls, he's not missing.
Payno homered last time up. Rebels shortstop Owen Payno. First pitch breaking ball for a strike. That blast in the 5th was his 5th home run of the season. Last year only hit .236, had just 1 homer, breaking his way in the lineup as a freshman. Mitchell in front, 1-2.
Really good changeup by Mitchell, and you don't want to get behind in the count against Owen Payno.
The 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 2 gone in the 6th.
We talked about the Rebels' offense approach is hammering fastball, and the best thing that you can do to offset that is have a really good changeup, and it looks like a fastball out the hand, but well-placed changeup by Sam Mitchell.
Now someone we saw last night pick up a double back in the 2nd inning. Daniel Pacella will grab a bat and hit in the spot of Topher Jones. With that, Jason Jackson coming out of the Crimson Tide dugout to meet with Mitchell and the infield. As David mentioned, there has been some bullpen activity if the Crimson Tide want to make a change based on the Ole Miss pinch hitter.
See Coach Bianco going with the lefty. Does Coach Jason Jackson make the play with the available left-hander in the pen, Steckmesser, or do you ride with your guy and Sam Mitchell?
Steckmesser and Kittrell getting loose for the Crimson Tide. And the call to the bullpen will be made for the Crimson Tide just as Pasella gets ready to come to the plate. Unless door number 3 opens for Coach Bianco, making a change based on this change coming up for the Crimson Tide. It will be Steckmesser coming in, the left-hander for Alabama, trying to keep this game at 5-0 Ole Miss. Takeover on the mound for the Crimson Tide, a veteran arm out of the bullpen. Extensive experience for him before in his career at Samford. Now in his first year here in Tuscaloosa. Steckmesser 1-1 on the season as he will be appearing just for the 4th time in SEC play.
Yeah, 15th appearance, but like Roger said, a big portal get out of Samford where he logged 56 games out of the bullpen and more of a funky delivery. It looks like the ball's coming from the second baseman, but a good lefty on lefty scenario for Coach Jason Jackson and Rob Vaughn right here. You really feel like you got to keep the score where it is. And Steckmesser entering this game with 2 outs. Good K to walk ratio, 20 strikeouts to 10 walks.
So Ole Miss currently 9th in the SEC standings, 1 game out of 8th. The top 8 will receive that bye in the SEC tournament. Alabama is more in the mix for fighting for a double bye. Trying to wait until as late in the week as possible to begin a run in Hoover. All right, now we're in Tuscaloosa. Pasella at the plate, lefty on lefty, starts with strike 1.
Good riding fastball by Steckmesser. It just comes out of the hand like a 2-seamer. All that means for those listening out there, that 2-seamer just has that mini running action into that left-handed bat, and you just see it saws Pasella off. Along with the fastball, you got that slider and the changeup.
Elevated the fastball that time. 1-2.
Like we talked about, it's a different type of arm slot coming out of the 3/4, almost just a hair below 3/4 above sidearm, but really tough to pick up. For a lefty, and Pasella coming off the bench. We talked about how hard it is to pinch hit, but then you get the lefty and Steckmesser with that fastball looks like it's starting at your ear. You have to keep that front shoulder in.
Steckmesser wins the battle, and the inning comes to a close. Alabama back to the plate, still looking for its first hit tonight against Taylor Ray. front 5-0 over Alabama. Crimson Tide back to the plate, trying to figure out Taylor Rabe, who has been brilliant in this start. Walking only one batter. That was an inning ago in the 5th after he set down the first 14 men that came to the plate. Say he strikes out the side in this inning, David, he would match what he did last week against Texas A&M with 14 strikeouts.
In a start that the Ole Miss Rebels desperately needed. Maybe not desperately, but I do think that what we're talking about, the implication of being on the fence of possibly hosting, this is a statement type of game and weekend for the Rebels and the Tide.
Luke Vaughn, first man to the plate, lined it right back to the mound last time up, and Rabe made the catch. Average right at 200 for Vaughn this season after being injured, missing all of last year. Didn't get to play much as a freshman, backing up veteran catcher Matt Gassetti in 2024. Really thought of as the catcher of the future for the Crimson Tide. Alabama pivoting a bit with Vaughn's injury last year, and Brady Neal, John Lim, Will Plattner all being in the mix behind the plate. So Vaughn has gone to first base this season.
Coach has said that he had one of the best falls campaigns offensively and said we got to find him a place to play other than catcher and first base. And he's been a very good defensive first baseman, had his first multi-home run game in game 1 against South Carolina.
2-1. In the air to left, base hit. Luke Vaughn starts the 6th inning with a single. 5 no-hit innings, no more for Taylor Rabe. He allows a leadoff single to start the 6th.
A good piece of hitting by Luke Vaughn. Got a fastball over the plate, ropes it into left field, and really the hardest hit ball tonight. But you really got to tip your cap to Taylor Rabe. The performance that he's had. Now, he's not out of the woods. This game is far from over, but he has put up a bunch of zeros and strikeouts.
Alabama's first hit, courtesy of Luke Vaughn. Now Peyton Steele at the plate. You've got him at the plate with Vaughn at first and nobody out. Some of Alabama's best due up next in Bryce Fowler and Justin LeBron.
I would typically say this is a great opportunity to bunt, but probably less likely with the score where it is.
Swings away, and it's 0-2.
But it played off last night to Alabama's advantage to put the pressure on the Ole Miss defense. Luke Vaughn lays down a perfect bunt. Judd Utemark comes up with it, loses his footing, throws the ball away, and it kind of extended that inning, kind of like the inning that Ole Miss had.
Check swing, did he go? No, says Eddie Newsom.
Tough to lay off. Paulie's done a really good job, and Johnny Lim behind the plate, commanding this game. Really strong backstops.
How about the 12th strikeout for Taylor Rabe? 80th pitch of the night, still at 96 miles per hour with a fastball.
Velocity is still there. You paint it up on the outer half. Great frame job by Foley. And man, Alabama just really has not had many answers, especially with 2 strikes. It seems like Rabe has just been in complete control. If you're going to get him, it's got to be early in the count.
So now it's Fowler and LeBron time. Last night, key to everything for Alabama. Bryce Fowler, a pair of strikeouts, but he and his teammates have that in common tonight. It's also the 3rd time through the order for Rabe against hitters very experienced like Fowler and LeBron. Fowler in front, 2-0.
Kind of feel like this is the time. You said it, Roger. You've seen it 3 times. And if it's going to happen, the numbers tell you by the guys swinging the bat, it's got to be the guy at the plate and the guy on deck, and Bryce Fowler and Justin LeBron. You can just see the competitiveness of Ray. We talked about it. Even in the scenarios you know the fastballs are coming, the Tide hitters cannot come up with anything hard hit.
Being behind 2-0, back-to-back great fastballs to make it 2-2. That hit Fowler. Crimson Tide will have 2 men on base at the same time, first time this evening.
Talked about one non-competitive pitch that Rabe had in the 3rd inning, and that was the second one. Just looked like a pitch that just lost the command right there. And you say at Alabama, in the hit department, only Luke Vaughn, but able to pass it to the next guy in Justin LeBron, and the opportunities are few and far. But the one that Justin LeBron did not miss was yesterday, early in the game, to give Alabama the early lead. A bomb to left field and got that Alabama bullpen excited and the fans going. And could it be? And Justin LeBron, Ray, the first time that he's got multiple guys on base, can he click? Just something hard hit. And I think that's what you have to feel like you've got. To say Rave's on the ropes is not the right thing to say here, but the one opportunity in this inning in the game where you've got an opportunity, feel like this is it with one of your better hitters stepping to the plate.
Born in the Bronx, raised in South Florida, Justin LeBron. The top draft prospects for this summer's MLB draft. Fans have loved watching him play the last 3 years here at the University of Alabama. 2 on with 1 out. A look back at second.
And that throw over to second base can be somewhat, when you're feeling rushed as a pitcher, to reset the pitch clock to not have to lose a strike.
First pitch slider for a strike. It seems like it's mostly been the slider where there's been some swing and miss for Rabe against LeBron this evening.
There's nothing you can really key in on. We talked about the fastball, the off-speed pitch.
Chop to third. Throw goes off the second base bag. 1 out there, called on the field, but Alabama may challenge. Rob Vaughn wants it immediately. So called on the field, that would be second out of the inning, runners first and third, but this call gets overturned. Bases loaded, only 1 out.
And chopper to Utermark.
Alabama is reviewing the call at second base. The call on the field is out.
Not a tough play, but Utermark going to his glove side. Takes the good hop, just can't deliver a strong throw. Hard to see from that angle. Decker does look like he's able to get the ball in the glove with the foot on the bag. I think this one, after looking at that angle by our camera crew doing a great job tonight, I think that's going to stand.
Replay officials in Birmingham reviewing this play, including using the Hawkeye cameras as well.
After review, the runner at second base is out. Alabama has 1 challenge remaining.
It's only 1 challenge left for the Tide. Here is a look from the Hawkeye camera.
That could have proved disastrous. Talked about last night. Alabama defensively flawless. Ole Miss made 2 errors, but Decker being able to stretch and stay on the bag for the second out. You see challenges remaining. Ole Miss has 2. Alabama lost 1.
Well, it's up to the man that probably would consider the MVP of the Crimson Tide this season, Brady Neal. Men on the corners with 2 gone. Alabama looking to get on the scoreboard in the 6th.
And I would say MVP of the consistency of Brady Neal from last year to this year. The offensive statistics have gone up, but he's been the guy with runners in scoring position when Alabama's needed a big hit late in games. He's been able to cash in.
Rabe in front, 0-2. What a jump for Brady Neal this season.
Look at the batting average, the extra base hits. I think you can also say that he puts himself in good counts to make those stats happen.
Rabe's 0-2. Lucky strikeout number 13. He has gone 6 scoreless innings, limiting Alabama to just 1 hit and no runs this evening.
Rabe gets in a bind, but comes back with the devastating slider to one of Alabama's best hitters to close the door, and a lot of excitement on Friday night.
The month of May, that'll be the first time in 3 years Alabama's been able to play postseason baseball here at home. Stegmesser got the strikeout he needed of Topher Jones to close out that last inning. Was also brought in knowing that Dom Decker would be on deck, and now it's Decker leading off the 7th. Lefty on lefty, here we go.
Stegmesser has looked really good since entering this game. The fastball has been in on the hands to the left-handers, really tying them up, and then having to respect that fastball and then expanding with the slider away.
He went around. Stegmesser with his 2nd strikeout.
Again, all set up with the fastball first pitch. And then, like we said, going away late and extending the zone, and Decker could not lay off a really good slider, and especially big out when you have to face the next 2 guys coming.
Here's some power with Judd Utermark. Singled in the 1st, drew his walk in 3rd inning, struck out against Zane Adams back in the 5th, and now facing a left-hander, Evan Stegmesser.
Sometimes a different arm angle, a different slot, along with commanding 2 pitches is more than enough. The fastball ticking up for Steckmesser at 90 miles an hour. Talked about typically in that 87, 88 range. And for both sides bullpen, you really know who your guys are. The opportunities to see new guys are probably not in the rotation at this point. You've got about 4 or 5 guys.
Foul tip. Lim held on. Strike 3.
Alabama could use another left-hander outside of Matthew Heiberger. How about Steckmesser with a devastating slider again against one of the SEC bests in Judd Udemark.
Tristan Becerra next to the plate for the Rebels. Up 5-0 here in the 7th. Sure, now in the 7th inning, game 2 of the series, Alabama still hasn't fired 2 of its best arms from the bullpen. Lefty Ashton Crowther as well as Hagen Banks, who has been closer throughout most of this season. Sometimes Heiberger will get the final out. Setting up for not only the rest of tonight, but tomorrow as well in game 3, which could be the first rubber match Alabama's played at home this season. It's been sweeps the entire year in conference play. 3 times sweeping an opponent, 1 time getting swept by Arkansas. But 3 impressive sweeps against Florida, Auburn, and the last time here 2 weeks ago against Vanderbilt.
It's a sign of a mature team to get 2 games and then to seal the deal and finish the job. That tells me that's a mature club that's deserving of a national host seat.
2-2. Steckmesser very sharp out of the bullpen.
Looking really good. You talked about some of the bullpen arms for Alabama. For Ole Miss, I've not seen their closer in Hooks. May not see him if the score stays where it is. Make for a very electric game 3 on Saturday.
Payoff pitch. Right to first. Making the play, Luke Vaughn, and Steckmesser setting down all 4 batters he has faced. 7th inning stretch at the Joe, 5-0 Ole Miss. Bracket for Hoover starting tonight for the SEC baseball tournament. Again, it gets all started pretty early in the morning on that Tuesday. Ole Miss against Missouri, and then you have the potential for Ole Miss to play the first game. Alabama could be playing the final game of some of the first round action. The Crimson Tide trying to get that double bye. Wouldn't play all the way until Friday night.
Woo, man, look at that schedule. And again, Ole Miss, that's just as it sits right now. A lot playing. There's the jockeying back and forth amongst Arkansas. If Ole Miss can continue the momentum, get some more games, maybe some Arkansas losses, they could get themselves into the second round with a single bye.
It's going to be a lot of fun in Hoover, Alabama, and Ole Miss fans are going to enjoy watching the starts the rest of the year of Taylor Rabe in complete control. 6 innings of work, only 1 walk, only 1 hit. His first 5 innings were in no-hit fashion against Alabama and just looked untouchable at times, especially first time through the order.
That's an understatement. He was untouchable for the most part with all the pitches, commanded it. He was getting ahead with strike 1 every single time, and when he got to 2 strikes, he finished the job. And what a start for Rabe when the Ole Miss Rebels really need it here in game 2.
Now he gives the baseball to J.P. Robertson, off to a 3-1 start this year with a 3.29 ERA out of the bullpen for Ole Miss, outside of 1 start this season. 39 strikeouts in his 27 1/3 innings. Alabama glad to see somebody else on the mound tonight as they get into the bullpen, bottom of the 7th, starting with the DH and cleanup batter Eric Hines. Howard foul, 1 ball, 1 strike to the Alabama freshman.
Robertson's go-to pitch is that slider you saw. It's a really good one with a low 90-mile-an-hour fastball. Multiple appearances in SEC play, pitched 1 inning against Texas A&M. But he's not just a 1-inning type of reliever. He can go 2, 3 innings. Went 3 1/3 against Georgia, 2 against Tennessee, 3 against a really good, another regional opportunity host team in Southern Miss. Tough to lay off right there. 88-mile-an-hour slider, Roger.
Two. Breaking ball is hammered high, but stay in the ballpark to Becerra in right center for the out.
It looked like Eric Hines was ready for that slider, got it up in the zone, a mistake, but just popped it up, unable to put a good barrel on it.
One gone for John Lim. Alabama's catcher had a strikeout and a ground out back to the pitcher.
And that ground out was hard hit ball that Ray was able to put some leather on, come up with it.
Works in there for a strike. 0-2.
If you're Alabama, you got to find a way to push across 1 or 2 runs to cut the deficit. 5-run deficit's tough to put something together. Only 1 hit tonight by Luke Vaughn. Got to string some hits together. Give yourself some confidence.
Just missed with that slider.
Try to backdoor Lim with that slider on the outer half. Earlier in the count, slider handcuffed him, starting that slider right down the middle, but just works its way in. Nothing you can do about it.
Fastball high, 2-2. Power surge lately for Lim. 2 homers 2 weeks ago against Vanderbilt. Had a massive 3-run go-ahead homer. Game 2 of the series last Saturday at South Carolina. A swing and miss here, strike 3. Again, just tough to lay off that breaking ball.
And just ideal Rebels sequence of pitches. The fastball up in the eyes to speed up the body, and then you go back to the slider down and away. And Robertson making quick work of the Crimson Tide in the 7th.
Jason Torres, a walk last time up, became the first Alabama base runner back in the 5th. After 14 in a row had been set down by Taylor Rabe. Two years for Torres at his hometown, University of Miami. Second year with the Crimson Tide this season. Got recognized earlier before the ball game for senior night. Heading the count, 3-0.
Good lively fastball tonight for Robertson. Thought getting Rabe out of the game was good, and then welcome J.P. Robertson with a devastating slider and fastball.
3-0 pitch. Upstairs fastball in there for a strike.
Pearl River Community College transfer, redshirt sophomore J.P. Robertson.
Bases clean, 2 gone. Torres now on a 3-2 count.
Again, it's been consistent from Rabe to Robertson. 3-1 count. You know the fastball's coming, and Alabama can't put a good swing on it. Jason Torres find a way to get on base.
Stays alive with the count, 3-2.
Just feel like somebody, again, we talked about Luke Vaughn getting a hit. Somebody's got to barrel up, get something extra base hit variety to get the fans back engaged for Alabama. It's been Rebels just foot on the throat right now this entire game.
Fouled away again. Long run, Furness and Foley, but that's into the crowd. Eighth pitch of the at-bat coming up. Base hit right field. Torres fighting off so many pitches to keep that at bat alive. He's got Alabama's 2nd hit tonight. Now man on with 2 outs.
Good battle by both sides. Jason Torres finally gets a fastball up in the zone, hits it hard the other way, and extends this inning. We talked about it, extending the inning, a good at bat. Can you put another one together? Maybe Brennan Holt getting something into the gap. You got to find a way to string some hits together. It's really hard to do against a good Rebels rotation.
Lost his footing and hit Holt. 2 on with 2 outs for Alabama.
Cleat did not, just slid into the ground. Just hopeful that J.P. Robertson didn't hurt an ankle on that pitch. Looked a little scary with that release. Another opportunity for Alabama. Looks like Robertson kind of heard a verbal from him, "I'm okay." Alabama did this last inning, able to get some guys on, but not able to do anything. You see opportunities for both sides, not really able to cash in much. At least Ole Miss has had more opportunities to do it. 2 for 11, not very good, but they've been able to slug. And Alabama 0 for.
Luke Vaughn, who had Alabama's first hit off Taylor Rabe to begin the 6th inning. Now 2 on with 2 outs here, bottom of the 7th.
The Tide's only hit up until Jason Torres got a hit the other way. Can he duplicate that? Ahead in the count here, 1-0.
Ball and a strike to the Crimson Tide first baseman.
With the velocity that Robertson brings, sometimes as a batter, you want to play with that velocity, speed your body up, speed your bat up, but at the same time, you have to slow it down, keep your swing the same.
Off the mound to the second baseman. Decker makes the play, and the inning is over. Rebels pitching staff keeping the Tide off the scoreboard through 7 innings in Tuscaloosa. Standings coming into today, the next to last game of the regular season. Georgia already your SEC champion. Alabama right now in 3rd place, just a half game out of Texas for number 2 in the SEC. Meanwhile, Ole Miss part of that logjam just around the 500 mark.
Man, look at the teams with 17, 16, 15, and 14. It's just a razor-thin margin. And then you look at the games going on tonight. We talked about Kentucky playing at home, their last series against a very good Arkansas team. Hey, Arkansas's looking to get into the host conversation just like where Ole Miss is. So don't you think that they're playing for something? A lot at stake.
Will Furness, who had the hit of the night for Ole Miss, a 3-run homer off Zane Adams back in the 5th. He's at the plate here in the 8th, still going up against Crimson Tide lefty Evan Steckmesser. Steckmesser out of the bullpen has set down 4 in a row, and what is for him this season a pretty rare SEC opportunity. You have to go back to the Tennessee series, the last time he has pitched in an SEC game. Just looked great tonight out of the Crimson Tide bullpen.
Furness trying to connect for another home run. The previous pitch was a hanging slider, the same slider that he sent over the bullpen in right field, the big 3-run shot.
Stegmesser's 1-2. High with the fastball.
Stegmesser, since entering this game, has looked really good. And to your point, Roger, last time he's gone 2 innings was Kentucky back in March.
Stegmesser with another strikeout, this time against Will Furness.
Well, ain't no doubt, Stegmesser is fresh and delivering a 90-mile-an-hour fastball past Furness for the first out.
Aiden Federico, the Rebels center fielder, next up. Singled back in the 4th inning. Nothing into Ole Miss with those 4 runs back in the 5th inning. The Furness home run made it 3 runs with 2 outs. Otherwise, it is a 2-0 ball game that has been supremely pitched here this evening. Stegmesser keeps it going with another strikeout, his 5th since coming in from the bullpen.
And the Ole Miss Rebels, not really many answers for Stegmesser. A 2-strike pitch that caught the corner. Federico not very happy about that one, but a perfect pitcher's pitch.
Colin Ritter, the DH, 0 for 3. Line drive to left, that'll be in there for a base hit. He extends the top of the 8th for Ole Miss.
Sam Mitchell and Evan Stegmesser, since Spelling Zane Adams, have done their job of holding this game where it is. Unfortunately, the Alabama offense have not had any answers tonight.
Now it's Austin Foley who singled last time up. One of the hottest hitters lately for Ole Miss. Demolished high and deep to left field and gone. Foley makes it 7-0 Ole Miss. Austin Foley will not slow down in May.
Talked about Evan Stegmesser getting on a roll, but ran into Austin Foley, and Roger, that one was tagged deep into the Tuscaloosa night, and another crushing blow, making the score now 7-0 Ole Miss Rebels.
5 homers for the Rebels in the series. Had 2 last night, falling 5-4, but home runs, especially with 2 outs today, have helped make the difference in this 7-0 lead. Owen Payno, who had that leadoff homer in the 5th, turned a 1-0 game into a 2-0 contest.
I've said it once and I'll say it again. The way that Austin Foley, his presence in the box just looks like he knows exactly what he wants to do.
Just goes to show, if you get off to a slow start, so what? Some of the most important baseball is right here during this month, and he is stuck to his plan, and it's working.
Well, to your point, stuck with him, but we talked about it, we'll say, after this pitch.
Payno lays off 2-2.
Talked about Coach Bianco being a catcher behind them, and Foley doing that, playing a very good defensive catcher. You're going to stay in the lineup. You know, I mean, you know, the first priority is to play really good defensively, and yeah, his bat was lagging behind, but good grief, it's come alive in May.
Full count to Payno. Line just foul. Right side once again, 3-2 the count to Owen Payno. A walk to Payno. Steckmesser had been in complete control, having set down 6 in a row out of the Alabama bullpen before the Reuter single. 2-run homer by Foley, and now the walk to Payno.
Talked about Austin Foley, the really good defensive catcher, along with bringing a really good bat. How about some former catchers for Ole Miss over Bianco's career that have done some real damage? Guys like Will Allen, Stuart Turner, Brett Basham, an SEC all defensive catcher. He's had some good ones over the years.
Coach Jackson joining the mound conversation around Steckmesser. 2 runs have scored on the home run by Foley to grow the Ole Miss lead to 7-0. Austin Morris has been warming up in the Crimson Tide bullpen on his senior night.
When you have the type of performance by Taylor Rabe, it just gives your offense the confidence that, no, we're eventually going to get to a guy like Zane Adams. And then Zane Adams, other than his first inning in the last inning, it was a solid start, but it was hard to duplicate against Rabe.
Morris will be coming in for the Crimson Tide. 7-0 Ole Miss with the advantage against Alabama in Game 2. Drove in 2 runs last night with some RBI singles. How about some serious power for Ole Miss tonight?
It's been a month of May, and Austin Foley continuing in his damaging ways against the opposition. You saw a big-time home run right there to push this lead to 7.
Well, it's Austin Morris on the mound, the Mortimer Jordan product. Trying to keep this game where it is. It's 7-0 Ole Miss will inherit Payno at first. There you see the numbers for Morris, who, like Steckmesser, hasn't factored in as much during SEC play out of the bullpen for Alabama.
No, but another arm. We talk about the SEC tournament coming up. You don't know how many games you will play. You need as many arms, especially when you're thinking about regional play, where you're going to be could be playing 3 or 4 games in a 2 or 3 game span. Just don't know what kind of arms that you need, but who can you rely upon? Again, these are opportunities for guys in the bullpen. When the game's not as hot for Alabama, can you come in and show to build some confidence in yourself and the coaching staff? But it's a good fastball that can live in the mid-90s, slider and changeup. But the always thing for Austin Morris, can he have consistent command?
Now it's Brett Mosley, Trussville, Alabama native, who started last night. He'll be in a Spot of the batting order where we've now seen 3 different Rebels, kind of similar to last night. Coach Bianco keeps going to the bench, trying to figure out mostly that left field spot or just find a consistent bat. 9th in the order. Showed bunts, win through it, 1-1. 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts and a walk for Mosley last night, playing close to home. Slider for a strike, 1-2.
Good pitch by Austin Morris. Entering the game with a runner on. One of the toughest things to do. A guy coming out of the pen is one thing to come into the game, but with guys on.
Got him swinging. Morris gets the strikeout and closes out the 8th. But now the mountain a little higher for the Crimson Tide to climb, trailing 7-0 going to the bottom of the 8th.
The epicenter of college baseball. Teams holding their breath for a chance to dogpile in America's heartland. It's the NCAA Baseball Selection Show with watch parties all over the country. Let the road to Omaha begin.
Noon Eastern on Memorial Day, we will know where all these SEC teams are going. Some will be hosting, some will hit the road to begin the road to Omaha. Teams like Kentucky just hanging in there, trying to make sure they hear their name called during that selection show.
Some teams, the hay is in the barn. Others have some work to do, and you're seeing the teams like Kentucky trying to get off the bubble. But we talk about teams that are in postseason play, teams like Ole Miss and Arkansas. Can they find a way to inch into that regional host opportunity? So still, Roger, so much at play, but man, it gets me excited to watch that selection show.
Everyone in the ballpark excited to see JoJo Williamson. He'll lead off this inning as a pinch hitter. Homered for the Crimson Tide this past weekend at South Carolina. Going back to the selection show for a moment, it was Ole Miss and Alabama. There were 2 teams really debated going into the selection show in 2022. The Rebels got a bid, Crimson Tide did not. And Ole Miss was able to take that all the way to a national championship.
Yeah, that were on the bubble to get in. They said the last team to get in. And there was one phrase that they just kind of lived by: don't let the Rebs get hot.
So both of these schools had a very different day watching that selection show back in 2022. For Alabama, brought an abrupt end to the season. The Rebels got some extra life, took it all the way to a championship.
We talk about this resume, a lot of all the pieces that go in February, March, and April. But the most important thing is, are you playing your best baseball? And that's what some of the selection committee is also looking at, which you can, it's always fun to debate this. It's, you're looking at a resume, the RPI, the strength of schedule, it all is important, but also the selection team is, you know, has a look at, hey, how have you played down the stretch? How are you playing currently?
Runs inside, a check swing, and he wins, according to third base umpire Nathan Huber. Williamson out to begin the Alabama 8th.
Robertson, since entering this game, is trying to do his best Taylor Rabe and gets JoJo Williamson with a check swing, and third base umpire said he went for the first out.
Now it's Bryce Fowler and Robertson both at Pearl River at the same time, 2024. How many great players do we see year in and year out have some time at a Mississippi junior college? I'm going to say specifically in the state of Mississippi, then go on to do well in the SEC.
Both the state of Alabama and Mississippi always have top junior college programs, and that always seem to funnel into some really good Power 4 schools. And so you don't really have to go that far out of your own respective state. You're seeing one matchup right here.
To shortstop, Payno throws out Fowler as Robertson wins the battle, 2 gone.
Another hard hit, ground ball hit on the screws by Bryce Fowler, right at the shortstop Payno. And again, quickly, 2 outs.
It's Justin LeBron, 0 for 3 in this game. Did reach on fielder's choice last time up. Had a tough time, as really everyone in this Crimson Tide lineup did, against Taylor Rabe.
The Ole Miss offense continuing to pile on. We talked about Zane Adams. The game was only 2-0 up until the Will Furnace 3-run home run, and then the last half inning saw Austin Foley follow it with another home run. Just another good arm for the Rebels. Robertson saw the prior pitch at 97 miles an hour and then back it up with an 88-mile-an-hour slider. It's been an uncomfortable at bat for every single Crimson Tide hitter tonight.
Two hits for Alabama, no extra base hits, just singles by Luke Vaughn in the 6th inning, and last inning by Jason Torres. Full count. LeBron works the walk. This inning will continue here in the 8th.
Interesting right there. Robertson going to the slider 3-2 up in the zone. 2-out walk. I'm going to say interesting, up 7-0. I'm going to say the way that Robertson has commanded his fastball. If Alabama can mount something to get back, claw back into this game.
Brady Neal 0 for 3, a couple of strikeouts tonight. He was the final man to face Rabe and struck out with 2 men on base in the 6th inning. At the time, the Crimson Tide were only trailing 5-0. It just really seemed like that was the moment for Alabama near the end of the night for Rabe.
Rabe and Robertson have held the line even with some base runners on. Been able to close the door, and then the offense for Ole Miss has been able to keep stacking more runs and limiting the options offensively for Alabama. Justin LeBron, stolen base threat, tops in the SEC, but you can't push the envelope when you're down 7.
Two and two.
Brady Neal able to lay off a perfectly placed slider by Robertson. Does he go back to that again, burying it? You hammer him on the inner half with a fastball.
Popped up into shallow left field. It'll be Pano, the shortstop, falling down, makes the grab. Take a deep breath. Innings over. Rebels still keeping the Crimson Tide off the scoreboard through 8 innings at Sewell Thomas Stadium. Top of the 9th in Tuscaloosa with Ole Miss up by a 7-0 score against Alabama, trying to even the series at 1 game apiece heading into tomorrow. And this is the matchup. 2 high-level pitchers. We've already seen some great pitching in this series, David, but how about Townsend for the Rebels, Miles Upchurch for the Crimson Tide?
The sophomore Kay Townsend going against the freshman Miles Upchurch. Both guys, man, looks like it's going to be a tight one tomorrow. Looks like a split, and who's going to decide who's going to get the series? A big tilt tomorrow against for the Rebels and the Crimson Tide.
Well, Dom Decker representing the top of the order ahead of Judd Utermark and Tristan Bissetta all due to the plate.
Miles Upchurch last week against South Carolina, 6 innings pitched, 5 strikeouts. Shorter stint last week for Cade Townsend, 3 1/3. Short outing, looking to bounce back in his start against the Texas A&M Aggies.
Into left center and dropping in for a base hit. JoJo Williamson playing out in left field for the Tide. Decker leads off the inning with a single, and now he's got 2 hits tonight, 3 overall this weekend against Alabama.
3 hits over the last 2 games, but he's really swung the bat really well. Even some hard hit balls that were for outs. A really good table setter, especially when you're getting the protection with Udemark and Becerra.
Foul ball off the pink bat of Judd Udemark. Singled back in the first, walk in the third since then, a pair of strikeouts. All-time home run leader in Ole Miss baseball history.
The Tide pitching over 2 games have kept Udemark relatively quiet. Only 1 single. That's the problem, or the good thing for the Rebels, where one guy doesn't always have to have a big weekend. You got other guys like Becerra, who hit a big home run last night. Foley tonight. Furness also with a 3-run home run. Different guys getting in on the action.
Morris in front of the ball and 2 strikes. Decker does have 12 stolen bags on the year. Check swing, did he go? Laid off, according to Eddie Newsom.
And that was the setup last night. That was how Tyler Fay was getting the strikeout. Expanding the zone with the slider with Udemark. Morris goes to a good pitch. Udemark lays off.
Full count. To LeBron at short, only 1 play, that's at first. He'll go there for the out.
Good pitch by Austin Morris. 3-2, did not give in. Off-speed pitch down in the zone. Got Udemark to cap it to Justin LeBron. Only play was to first base with the runner in action, in motion.
Associate head coach, pitching coach Jason Jackson out to speak with Austin Morris. 3rd pitcher used by Alabama out of the bullpen after Zane Adams went the first 5 innings in this ball game.
Yeah, pretty pleased with Austin Morris in his stint. See what Coach Jackson wants to do here with the lefty and Becerra.
So the options, and it looks like left-hander Connor Lehman will approach the door for the Crimson Tide. Tristan Becerra due up to the plate next. Lehman will be the man to face him. More on him when we return to Tuscaloosa. On the mound for the Crimson Tide, and what'll be a tough lefty-on-lefty matchup for him against Tristan Becerra, who has 20 homers on the season. As we take a look at the numbers for Connor Lehman on the mound, 9 strikeouts in his 10 2/3 innings of work.
Yeah, Connor Lehman making his 9th appearance, 9 Ks, 8 walks. Another opportunity, a good scenario. Fastball in the low 90s, slider and changeup.
Only the second SEC game he's worked in this season, as that one gets away from the catcher limb, goes to the backstop. Taking third base will be Decker. He's at third with 1 gone.
His last appearance against Troy on the road, 1/3 of an inning, UAB in 1 inning. And last SEC appearance, like Roger noted, 2 innings on the road against Texas.
Well, 2-0 to Becerra. Double back in the first inning helps set up the RBI ground out by Will Furness. Also had a walk that kept that 5th inning alive against Zane Adams and set up the 3-run homer by Will Furness.
Home plate umpire Jeremy Dupree telling Becerra, hey, this is the back of the batter's box and you're going to stay within it. And he goes over there and marks it for him.
It's a pretty good warning with a visual aid.
Yeah, that's right. Naturally, at the 8th, late in the game, it gets all the cleats, scratch out the markings.
Becerra will work his walk. Men on the corners with only 1 out. Well, Will Furness, it's been his night. 3-run homer in the 5th that turned what was a 2-0 Ole Miss lead into a 5-0 lead. Also drove in the first run of the game on a ground out.
It really felt like that was the decisive blow, especially the way that Ray was pitching and just pushed the game at that time so far out of reach. This is what the Ole Miss Rebels we talked about live on. They home runs, and they'll live with the strikeouts offensively.
Another one destroyed high deep to right field. Backing up, making the catch is Brady Neal. Decker will tag from third and score. Sacrifice fly for Furness on what's been a 5 RBI night, making it 8-0 Ole Miss.
And doing what veteran hitters are supposed to do. Scenario still runner at third, less than 2 outs. You hit a deep fly ball. Doesn't mean you give up the at bat. You could tell Furness was still still got it off the cap of the bat, still put a good swing on it, extend it to 8.
Hayden Federico next to the plate. With 2 outs here in the top of the 9th for Ole Miss, building up an 8-0 lead in Game 2 of the series. After the Crimson Tide won a thriller last night that went down to the wire 5-4.
Fastball. Ball out on the outer half. Trying to find that command.
Into center field. Federico with his second hit tonight. Becerra takes third. Rebels with men on the corners once again with 2 outs.
Federico getting into a hitter's count. 90-mile-an-hour fastball, shoots it up the middle. That'll bring associate head coach Jason Jackson out again. We talked about the offense for Ole Miss, but not giving Alabama any opportunity. They continue to put pressure on Zane Adams, able to run him from the game, and then it's just been throughout late in this game, continue to stay on it to where it just really would not give any opportunities for Alabama to get back in this game.
Right-hander Zach Kittrell will take over on the mound. It's 8-0 Ole Miss in the 9th. out here in the top of the ninth, now trailing Ole Miss by an 8-0 score. So Zach Kittrell will be on for the first time in his career in an SEC ball game.
Yeah, the senior getting his opportunity on senior day. Native of Mobile, Alabama. Like you said, Roger, trying to close the door in the ninth. It's going to be fastball in the low 90s, slider.
It's his second year at Alabama after he had been previously at Pensacola State College. Last year appeared in 5 games, made a start for the Crimson Tide. Now on for the second time this season. Rebels with men on the corners for Colin Reuter. Single to really get it going for Ole Miss, setting up the 2-run homer by Foley an inning ago. Three homers for Reuter last season, doubling that this year with 6. Previously played at BYU before making his way back to his home state. Originally from Olive Branch, Mississippi, where he was the 4A Mississippi Player of the Year in 2021.
Olive Branch, Mississippi to BYU. Comes back home to his home state of Ole Miss.
Kittrell in front, 1-2. And on the corners with 2 down. The 1-2. Low, and this gets away from Lim all the way to the backstop. 9-0 Ole Miss. Besetta scores from third. Federico will take second base with a count 2-2.
John Lim's been a very good backstop these last 2 games. That was a wild pitch. But Ole Miss not letting up.
2-2. This one rolls behind home plate, and that will get an extra 90 feet for Federico to third. That'll be a pass ball on Lim. That'll be 5th of the year for the Crimson Tide catcher after we just saw the wild pitch. Full count. Reuter to LeBron, ranging way to his left. Justin LeBron, what a play. Last chance for the Crimson Tide, trailing Ole Miss 9-0. 2-0 Ole Miss leads Alabama as we start the bottom of the 9th here in Tuscaloosa. It's been an extremely well-pitched game by the Ole Miss Rebels, and then they've had the big hits to back it up, David.
Yeah, the table was set by Taylor Rabe, just really shutting down the Alabama offense with a bunch of strikeouts, and then the Rebels offense with some slugging, the home runs that they've really relied upon, and just spaced out this game late. And all Ole Miss tonight. But again, game 1 went to Alabama.
Eric Hines starting this inning, followed by John Lim and Jason Torres.
Yesterday, game 1, a 1-run win by Alabama. And Ole Miss really a commanding lead right now in the 9th.
Hines lays off, 2-1.
Let's not forget about J.P. Robertson, who is entering his 3rd inning of work, and he's been pretty much flawless too, only allowing 1 hit, only 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. Looked really good with his stuff tonight.
And with how good Rabe was earlier, there's just never been a chance for Alabama to take a deep breath and be like, all right, finally to the bullpen, because this stuff has been electric from the right side.
Well, we talked about it. The few opportunities for Alabama, they had guys at 1st and 2nd. You felt like it was almost desperation of, hey, we've got to cash in, but Ole Miss able to close the door every inning.
Bounce to 2nd. Decker throws at Hines to start the Crimson Tide 9th.
Robertson going into his 3rd inning of work most likely will close this thing down, and the fastball sat easy at 96 to 97 from start to finish.
Well, it's John Lim to the plate. Crimson Tide limited, only 2 hits tonight. None for extra bases. Lim over 3 with a pair of strikeouts. Tomorrow's 3rd final game of the series. You have a tight game in game 1, more lopsided game in game 2. Does it make it any easier for Alabama to flush it and move on tomorrow? Make it tough for Ole Miss to carry on the momentum, or is this exactly what the Rebels needed?
I think both squads.
Lim strikes out for the 2nd out.
Both squads really mature. Saw all the seniors for senior day for Alabama, and Coach Rob Vaughn. You've seen, for those that have been following Alabama and Ole Miss, you've seen that they've had the lulls, dropped some midweek games that just didn't play good baseball, seemed to respond well. Ole Miss in their season had a lull where they got swept at their place against Mississippi State, but then start to have a resurgence. So I think both of these squads understand what's at stake and looking forward. No matter what happens in the previous game, you saw Ole Miss.
First pitch to Torres to center field. Mosley sliding catch. The Trussville native ends this night with a flourish for Ole Miss. A dominant 9-0 win for the Rebels here in game 2. First win in 5 years for Ole Miss in T-Town.
Wow, but what a commanding night. It was everything Ole Miss, and on the back of Tyler Rabe and on the back end by J.P. Robertson. With some timely hitting, the slugging came through with a home run department for Ole Miss, and it was a commanding win tonight to push them to 15 SEC wins. And now you've got a big game tomorrow, Saturday, to decide a series. So a lot at stake, but a big win in response for the Ole Miss Rebel.
It all started with their ace on the mound, Taylor Rabe, with 6 scoreless innings. We will be talking to him shortly after his 13 strikeout performance against Alabama. Taylor Rabe joins us next. Series in Tuscaloosa with this win against the Crimson Tide, and the first 6 innings on the mound in dominant fashion by Taylor Rabe for Ole Miss. 6 innings of work, limited Alabama to 1 hit, 1 walk, but there were 13 strikeouts mixed in. Roger Hoover, David Kindred now pleased to be joined on the field by Taylor. And Taylor, congratulations on the victory. What was working for you so well, especially early on, getting all those strikeouts?
Yeah, early on, the fastball down was working really well, and, you know, kind of setting that up early allows me to work everything off that. So, you know, we threw a lot of cutters after that off the fastball, and, you know, those are 2 kind of faster pitches. So then we went to the slider and a slower velo bucket and had them off balance really well.
Taylor, can you talk a little bit about your performance last week against Texas A&M, where you went 6 innings with 14 strikeouts? Was there some confidence that you rolled into today? Obviously, the night before, suffering a close 1-run loss and knowing what y'all needed and what's at stake. Can you talk about how you were commanded today, everything that built up to this?
Yeah, I mean, A&M was a good outing last week for me, because I just learned a lot about, you know, what I need to do to strike guys out and, you know, to pitch long into the game. But I also learned from that outing. You know, in the 4th there, I gave up 5, and I think in today's outing, I felt like I did a better job of throughout the entire time, you know, staying within myself and keeping the ball down the whole time. And so, yeah, I knew today was a big game for us, and so I wanted to, you know, be able to set the tone early, and so I was glad I was able to do that.
Well, you absolutely did that, and Coach Mike Bianco, he always loves guys that get first pitch strike 1, and it seemed like you were able to do that. I think the thing that made it even more impressive is you were able to use all your pitches for first pitch strike 1. Talk about that.
Yeah, obviously you can throw a lot of fastballs and get ahead, but guys are going to figure that out eventually, and so being able to mix in cutters and sliders helped a lot. And so, yeah, that was big for being able to keep them off balance all game.
And then what can you tell us about Cade Townsend going on the mound tomorrow, and how much fun are you guys having playing at this time of the year, knowing what's in front of this Ole Miss baseball team?
Yeah, Cade's a stud, and I'm pumped to see him tomorrow. And, yeah, his stuff is electric, and so I'll be charting tomorrow, and I'm looking forward to being able to see what he's got going. And so, yeah, it'll be a fun game. I love the rubber match games, and I love, you know, playing in this league. It's going to be tough every time. So, yeah, it'll be a really good matchup.
Well, Taylor, congratulations on the victory tonight. All the strikeouts against A&M this past week and Alabama tonight. You're in a good groove for Ole Miss. Just thank you for your time. Best of luck moving forward.
Yeah, thank you.
And that was Taylor Rabe. 13 strikeouts tonight, setting the tone on the mound for Ole Miss, and then the bats did some damage after that. That's all from Tuscaloosa. For our analysts David Kindred and our fantastic SEC Network crew, Roger Hoover saying so long from Sewell Thomas Stadium. Tonight's final score, the Ole Miss Rebels 9, the Alabama Crimson Tide 0. Thanks for watching. This has been SEC Baseball on the SEC Network.